before I start my presentation and introduce my person, I would like to pose a question to the class. Is there anything that you wholeheartedly believe in that you would be willing to die for?
No.
So for today, I'm going to be talking about Mona Mahmoud Nizad. I'm sure none of you have probably heard of her. She is a youth who was just about our age, 18 years old, when she was martyred with 10 other women in Iran. And so a little background knowledge on Mona. She was the youngest in her family. She had one older sister. She had an exemplary student. She was known as an exemplary student at the age of 9 and also took advanced classes. When she was very young, her teachers acknowledged her for her writing skills, and she was very well known in school. She is also had a close relationship with her father, so her and her father shared a connection with education. They were both very passionate about education and teaching the younger generation about how to fully live their life and kind of contribute to society. She and actually 10 other women were martyred in Iran for being Baha'i and teaching children, and I'm sure none of you have heard of the Baha'i faith, in which Mona and these 10 other women, along with hundreds of people in Iran, were part of. And I'll give you a background knowledge on the Baha'i faith versus Iran. So in Iran, typically people were Christian, Zoroastrian, or any of the typical Iranian religions. And being a Baha'i in Iran was banned. And if you were Baha'i, you would either be persecuted, killed, or imprisoned for years only because you wanted to teach children and you were Baha'i. So in Iran, they were seen as a threat simply because it wasn't a religion that they were typically used to. And so that in the 1900s, Christianity and all these other religions were always a normality. So when the Baha'i faith came about, it was kind of seen as like a threat, and they weren't really comfortable with people being Baha'i. So I chose Mona as being the maven as one of the theories. And so a maven is someone who possesses information and expertise, and their key goal is to educate, and that was Mona's main goal. She wanted to educate the younger children in her village, to teach them virtues and how to become a person that gives back to their community throughout the years of their life. And many of the children in her class adored Mona, and a lot of women also followed Mona to become a teacher, since they admired her strength and her faith and her determination every day to teach these children, even though the odds were against her, that she would either be imprisoned and persecuted, and she knew very well that she would probably die for this cause. And I'm just going to show you these 10 other women that were martyred with Mona. So Mona was in prison for 10 days, and then her bail was set at $35,000, and her family was going to give up everything for her. But the judge then decided to raise it to $83,000, and on the last day, Mona in her heart knew that that was the day she was going to die, and so she was able to see her family, and she let everybody know, like, I know this is the day, and I'm going to die, and I'm okay with that. And they died late in the night in Iran, and they were all blindfolded and handcuffed and taken far away in the middle of nowhere. And this woman on the bus, who actually had to drive these 10 women, had explained that as they were walking to be martyred for this cause, that they were all happy and they were singing songs, they were joyful because they knew that what they were doing was not wrong. They were dying for something that was positive, and that they were very well aware that this was the end result. And to kind of wrap it up a little bit, I'm going to end on a quote from Mona that she wrote in her second year of high school. And she wrote, "Freedom is the most brilliant word among the radiant words existing in the world. Man has always been and will ever be asking for liberty. Why then has he been deprived of liberty? Why from the beginning of man's life has there been no freedom? Always there have been powerful and unjust individuals who, for the sake of their own interests, have resorted to all kinds of oppression and tyranny." And I think this quote is very relatable to today, because obviously in today's society we are very well aware of the oppressions and tyranny from people who have such great power that they use it against the society, the lower population. And that is all.
Excellent.